wanted to show you guys how to put together a fun Christmas pillow. I went to Joann's and picked up some fabric that mimicked the look of a candy cane. I wanted the pillow to be in the shape of a lumbar pillow, so I'm going to fold the fabric over in half, and then I'm going to measure my fabric to be 22 inches by 12 inches. And then I'm just going to use a Sharpie to draw a straight line and then cut both of my fabric pieces out. I do recommend ironing them or using a heat press to get them nice and flat. Next, I'm going to put both of the right sides together. I'm going to pin all of the edges. Then I'm going to begin sewing the edges, leaving a small opening. And once I get all of the edges sewn together, I'm going to flip the pillow so the right side is out, paying attention to those corners, making sure those corners get pushed out really nicely. You can use your fingernail or a pin or something to work on your corners. You could stuff this with a pillow. I'm actually going to be using some polyfill. So to do that, I'm just going to place it around the edges, and you want to just add it until it's as full as possible. And you could close this up by sewing. I'm going to take the easy route and just add some hot glue and close up the opening on my pillow. Next, I'm going to fold over a scrap of fabric that I pressed in place, and I'm going to hot glue one side of it to the back of my pillow. I'm going to hot glue the other edge of that fabric so it's folded over nicely. Then I'm going to pull that fabric tight around my pillow to create a bow. Now at this point, you want to kind of move your pillow around until you get that desired look that you're going for. You don't have to immediately hot glue it in place. Now once you're happy with the way it looks, hot glue your center ribbon to the back of your pillow. And I think this looks so festive sitting out for the holidays.
I'm going to use these to make an awesome Christmas DIY.
The floral foam pieces are really nice, and you can typically find them at your store. So I'm going to start by cutting one of the pieces down with my saw. I tried to make it really straight so that it stood up nice and level. Next, I'm going to be using nautical rope, and I'm going to put some hot glue at the top of my cone. I'm going to start by twisting the nautical rope around the top of my tree, or I guess it's going to be a tree. I'm going to start wrapping it around, adding hot glue periodically. My tip whenever you're doing this is try to make your rope as tightly packed as possible. That's going to make it look way more high end. And you're going to follow the rope down until you cover all of your foam, and then just hot glue it to the base. Next, I found this really fun chunky yarn. I believe originally I got it at Walmart, and I'm going to do the exact same thing I did with the nautical rope. I'm just going to wrap it around. I feel like this chunky yarn really adds a lot of texture, so I love the way it turned out on this piece. After looking at them, I decided I wanted to add some bows to the top, so I had some green ribbon on hand. I'm going to tie two cute bows with some long tails. And then I'll hot glue them to the top of my trees. Then I'll cut the tails to be the length that I want them to be.
So I love this metal reindeer. I'm not a fan of the snowflake, but you could take that off and spray paint this to match whatever your decor is. You could spray paint it red, black, green, blue, anything. And this one is $10.
So that's exactly what we're gonna do with these reindeers. I picked up 2 of them. They're a little bit different, but I started by just removing this snowflake. It was a little tedious to do, but I'm using my wire cutters to help me out, and I was able to get them off with pretty minimal effort. Now I will say it did leave a little bit of an opening on the reindeer, so when you spray paint them, you're just gonna have to show them on the other side. Now I did have trouble figuring out what color spray paint I wanted to use. I went with like a light brown. I was trying to make kind of a natural look. And then I decided to come in with this warm caramel, but honestly, spray paint these to be whatever color fits in with your decor. I love adding reindeers in my decor, and here's a look at how mine turned out.
Okay, so I have to get the stars in the very back. I'm nervous. These are ceramic. I'm gonna get 3 of these stars for a DIY. Okay, get it.
Let's DIY these ornaments. I wanted to make a gingerbread style ornament. So I'm gonna take my cork pieces, turn them over on the back, and then I'm gonna trace my ceramic ornaments. I'll cut out the stars. What I love about these cork pieces is they actually have adhesive on the back, so I'm going to take the adhesive off and put it directly onto my ornament. I'm going to use some leftover ivory paint and more of a detailed brush, and I wanted to do a fun snowflake pattern. Now I did have to double up the paint a little bit because I was painting on cork, but I essentially did the same pattern on each of my stars. I love crafts like this. I think they're so fun to put together. You could also do this craft with your kids and they could have fun painting these. And here's how they look on my tree.
I'm going to use these glass containers to create a fun Christmas DIY.
You also want to grab these trees or something in this shape that you can use to create a nose. So I'm going to take my 3 containers and some E6000. I'm going to put E6000 around the rim of all of my containers, and then I'm going to stack them on top of each other. Now, these were a little bit harder than I thought to stay in place, so I actually put them the other way to let them sit and dry. I tried to make them be as level as possible, and then I set them to dry overnight. Next, I'm going to be using the ice spray paint. I really love this spray paint because of the see-through appearance, and I think it really mimics the look of snow. Once that had a chance to dry, I had these half circle pieces in my stash of wooden items. I'll link them for you below. I'm going to be using Rub and Buff to paint the tops of these, just with a foam brush. I'm going to cut the base off of the tree, and then I'm going to put it in the middle as his nose. Now, if you haven't guessed yet, I'm creating a miniature snowman. I'll also hot glue the eyes on. I wanted to give him a little scarf, so I had this green ribbon in my stash from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to loosely tie it around once and just snip off the ends. And here's a look at my snowman I made with common Dollar Tree items. I made a similar snowman last year where I just used bigger vases and I used the same spray paint and I just used a few different items for the nose and the mouth. Hey guys, I'm Liz and you're watching my second DIY channel where I post daily DIY videos. You may be familiar with my main channel, Liz Fenwick DIY, but I'm glad that you found me over here on my second channel. Make sure that you're subscribed so you just get notified every day when I post our daily DIY video.